Hey, good morning. And it is Donald. And this morning I'm going to be doing a video on what a person, a hiker should do when they are planning or uh, planning their trip to come to the mountains to hike the Appalachian Trail, Benton, Mackay, Pinhoti, whatever it may be over here in North Georgia, the Bartram. We pick people up for just about every trail system that's working through here, Duncan Ridge. We work the whole entire system. And so we don't do the whole Pinhoti Trail, but we do what is near the Cohuttas and then kind of in our zone. Once you get down closer to Alabama and stuff, man, that's when we start to step away and pass the shuttles on to other people. That being said, guys, I wanted to touch base on since it is the new year and the season is about to kick off for the aspiring through hikers and people section hikers, then all the hikers and outdoor enthusiasts, they come out here to hike the trails. I wanted to touch base on what I see and what Mary and I have done to structure our business to simplify the method to get up to the mountains. If you're going to fly in, bus in, train in, go to the enterprise, if you're going to drive an enterprise car down and park it somewhere, whatever method you're using, you're gonna have to get to the mountain. And so for years, and I'm not putting anyone down. What I'm trying to do is just try to, give people a good tool, a tool that they can actually use that helps them prepare. So when they do come here, they're all set and ready, and there are no mistakes, and there's no, oh, I got to go here too because I got to get this. Because that type of stuff, if you are using a shuttle service or any services, any transportation services. A lot of people don't have time in their scheduling just to say, oh, I can stop here, because that 5 minutes that people say, it's only a 5 minute stop. Well, no, it isn't, man. It takes 5 to 10 minutes just to get through a line at Walmart. And so any stop is going to be 20 to 30 minutes, period. And so when you have yourself prepared for all of that, then there's no, everything will run smoothly for everyone, because it's a mutual agreement between two people, the rider and the driver. And this is a specialty ride. It's not something that I know. So these are the things I see. Okay, man. So this is a specialty ride. I see a lot of people, saying in the rooms, the Facebook rooms and stuff. I get tagged for a lot of stuff, and I usually don't hang out in those rooms because there's just a lot of bad information. It's the same violators every time, giving the same information, and it's never actually a business that is structured and has their shit together. And so if a dude's sitting in a room all the time, man, and they're a shuttle business, and they're able to blast their name off all the time and just give information, they're probably not doing too much out here. So that's just a heads up, man. That being said, the things that I see are, when someone posts, the OP posts that, they're looking for a shuttle, and what should they do when they get to Atlanta? What's their next step? I see people say Uber. Well, there are reasons why you shouldn't call Uber. One, because those cats only get like 30 to 40% of that price that uh, Uber is quoting. The Uber drivers do not, they're just grabbing rides. And when they see an Atlanta airport ride or a MARTA ride or wherever the rider is calling from, Gainesville, and they're asking to go up the Springer, they're only seeing the timing and the mileage and how much they're going to get. They're not actually seeing what the roads are that lead up to the point that the drop off point is, or the pickup spot. And so a lot of Uber drivers, once they start to catch on, like the Uber drivers that are always watching, once they start to catch on, are the ones that have been here for years. Once they see that, man, they don't want to do it, because $99 to drive from the airport up to the mountain is not worth it to anyone, and it's taking from them. And so that's one reason why you shouldn't use Uber. another reason is because once they catch on and they get up, a lot of these guys are driving like low profile cars and they're from the city, and they're, the way that Uber makes money is going gap to gap. I mean, excuse me, from block to block, and doing share rides. That's how they make their cash. And so when they go up to Springer, it's a 6 hour run, man, both ways to get back to the city. Man, that's 6 hours for $99. No one can survive off that, man. That's just going to destroy someone's day. But what I see a lot of is once they get up the Springer Mountain Road, what I call the 6 mile, and 6 miles of dirt road, or if they go up 28 Nimblewell Gap Road, if the GPS takes them there, depending on which way they're coming from, or if they go up through Camp Merrill, which is Cooper Gap, which is about 18 miles of dirt road to get down to Springer, and about an hour, maybe more, depending on your vehicle, because that time of year too, man, it's super muddy out there. So it's mud puddles, it's a mud hole. And so people don't want to bring their cars up there. So I'll get these phone calls from the Uber drivers asking me to come pick the riders up at the beginning of Springer and stuff. And so Mary and I have been doing this for almost a decade. So I've seen everything out here. This is all we do year round, man. And so, the Uber drivers will literally not want to take the riders up to the mountain. And then eventually the riders that are calling for or summoning a Uber or a Lyft, man, they just don't answer it. You won't get picked up. You'll be sitting there for hours and we'll end up coming to get you, or you'll call someone else or whatever. Another thing that I see a lot of is people telling people to take the MARTA to the North Spring Station and then take another bus from there up to Alpharetta and then walk across the road and hitchhike from there, or you snag an Uber from there. And by the time you're done doing all that, you've wasted an entire day. You've ate $30 in food and drinks, man. You've sat and just wasted your time. And my thing is, man, is like, why? Why is someone trying to save $20? You know what I mean, man? When Mary and I came here, dudes, we came to Gainesville, man, and we had no idea how to get up here. This dude named Murris, man, who's still out here and had been out here for years, man. He's from Sanchez over here. He just happened to be picking up someone that was taking the bus down from Catan, and he was walking into the Gainesville bus station, Shell station there, because it's actually at a gas station. And so he just happened to be walking in, and I was calling on the phone. And at that time, there were not many drivers out here. The trail was not as mainstream as it is. Just in the past several years, it's become as popular as it has. So like when Mary and I started our business right after we get off Trail 2016, in 2017, the beginning, we started our shuttle business. There were not many people out here. Like, it took a few years before it started to really pop off. Anyways, but we were those people also. And so what I see a lot of people saying, man, is, take all this transportation, get a ride here and there. Why are you trying to save $20, $30 when you have a trip that you're trying to take, man? Who wants to start their day off or their hike by having to do all that stuff over 20 or 30 bucks, man? It doesn't make much sense to me, man. Just get the ride, call a reputable driver, because a lot of other things I see out here, man, are people that sit in the rooms also. And it might be some Joe Schmo, because I see this all the time. I hear it all the time. There's always the Joe Schmoes that are sitting in the room like, hey, call me, man, I'm in Atlanta. Or, hey, call me, I'm right up the road. Just call me. I can pick you up. Just call me, no problem. Well, when the date comes, man, these are also the same people that have something come up and they don't want to pick the people up, man. To do something like this, you have to literally dedicate a whole day to it, man. So even if you live in Atlanta, you still got to drive the 2 hours back and forth, which is 4 hours plus load time and drop time. It's a whole day. And so if you don't know what you're doing too, and you don't know how to maneuver through the mountain roads and which roads to take, and how to maneuver through the city without, getting caught up in the traffic, it could be longer. And so when people start to realize that's what it takes, they call the rider up and they're just like, hey man, something came up. And so now the rider is left a day or two before, or even day of, with no ride. And they're like, oh, my ride fell through. Do you think you can pick me up? Don't trust all those people, man. Why do you want to? And I'm going to go back to this again. Why do you want to start your hike like that? This is a journey of a lifetime for some people, man. This is the beginning of your hike. Why would you want to mess it up, man? You know what I mean, dude? Another thing I see is a lot of people just have answers. And so some of these guys, man, they're like, yeah, I hiked in 2010 and this is how I did it. And it's like, I took this shuttle and did this and that. And it's like, well, Sam Duke, man, and Wes Whiston and all them, they're gone. They're dead, man. That those methods are old school, man. This is mainstream today. Mary and I changed the whole scene, actually, man, because we were willing to go all the way to the airport because we feel that picking a person up curbside airport eliminates chances for mistakes because throughout the years, we have had so many people just get off at the wrong stops because they don't know how to use public transportation. And so not everyone's from a big city. I'm not. I'm from a small town in Maine, one of the smallest places in the United States at one time. And I had no idea how to use public transportation. So when I first went out west or something, man, and started using the bus lines or whatever, man, it took a while to actually learn how to use them. And so not everyone is knows how to use that stuff, and so they'll get off early, and the train runs every 10 to 15 minutes, and so that's 15 minutes of time that you have to wait for them at the North Springs MARTA station or the REI. And so that 15 minutes eventually starts to roll into a half hour and an hour, and then it just causes huge issues. And when you're a business like Mary and I, we have multiple drivers, and we're back and forth all day long picking people up. That 15 minutes counts, and we have a window, but that window throughout the day gets eaten up no matter what, and that whole chunk of window getting eaten up all at once is not good for us. So that causes huge issues, and then we have to readjust and go back down and pick the person up or something if that happens. So we like to eliminate mistakes, and that is one way to do it, is pick people up curbside. And so when you see people saying, oh, well, go to the MARTA station, no one wants to go there, call this person. No, man, that's not true. So call around to businesses and just find out what they have to offer before listening to someone online that's been sitting in a chair and hasn't done anything for 15 years since 2010, man. And they shouldn't even be giving advice. It creates it creates a huge problem, actually, because people are coming here unprepared because they're listening to other people, man. And so that's why I'm building this video, man, because I talk to a lot of people every single day, and a lot of them will have gone all the way up around their elbow to get to their ass, man, because of the rooms, man. Those rooms are so toxic, I think, man, just because they're getting all these answers, man, and none of them are really right, man. And it's like none of them are businesses that really are structured, man. They're just kind of some what I call fly by nights or hiker snipers, and they're just trying to snatch a ride, man. They don't care what they get for the price. They don't care. They're not trying to survive out here and keep people safe and comfortable and give a quality ride. Um, so there's a difference, man. You can tell the difference in prices. And those are also what I was saying, the same people that will just toss the ride away. I actually had a dude, man, out here, and he thinks he's the best driver. And literally, he moved up to North Carolina and had a ride down at MARTA. And the dude calls me up and he's like, hey, man, I just moved up to North Carolina up by Shooting Creek, and I have a ride at MARTA, and I don't want to drive down there. And, the guy ordered the ride, a couple months back, and now I don't want to go. And I was just like, dude, so you're just going to ditch him, bro? And so, and he was like, yeah, and he was laughing about it. And I was just like, yeah, okay, dude. And see, these guys stop at my shop and try to talk to Mary and I and stuff. And we just like, I don't have, I say hi and bye, like I'm not rude, but we don't do business with them, and we do not give their numbers out. We know who is who and what is, what's going on out here. We see it, man. a lot of disrespect from some of the newer drivers to some of us older drivers. I mean, some of them are just snatching rides right from the gap and shit, man. It's crazy. Anyways, what I'm trying to get to, man, is stay away from all those answers, man, and just call the businesses and touch base with them. I'm not saying to just use Mary and I and call us. Call around and find the right driver that fits your needs, man. They should be able to tell you what they have to offer, and you need to tell them what you need from them so they know what they can do for you. And that's how we roll, man. Like we set up everything. Anyone that's ever ridden with us knows that we have a list that we ask our riders, and do you need to stop? What do you need from us? Do you need fuel? Do you need bear spray? Do you need a Leatherman? Do you need a Swiss Army knife? Do you need a lighter, man? What do you need so we can have it when we stop? Or we can schedule in a stop, a half-hour stop, man. We don't mind stopping. It's just we need to know. And so we make sure that we do that. And the way we do that is because, I'm able to take my time with our customers and make sure that when we drop them off, they are completely prepared to hike. And they don't need to call another ride at Hightower saying, oh, I need this, man, because you know what I mean, dude? We're already on top of it. It's like, dude, you're probably going to need this. You're going to need that, blah, 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 blah. And so, yeah. And so definitely call the driver or the company that call around, check people out. Don't just take the cheapest ride. There's also a pedophile out here, man. And funny thing is, man, is I actually years ago said something about it and everyone just kind of ignored me. We kept telling Amicalola to take his name down. I mean, this dude is in the newspaper, man. It's not a story. It's not a lie, dude. I would never say anything about anyone unless I had facts. This dude has multiple newspaper clippings about him being a pedophile in Forsyth County. He's also in the rooms, and I've watched him throughout the years change his name and everything. And I actually called him out the other day, man, and the hiker room actually blocked my stuff when I called him out. And I thought that was a little bit, I don't know, man. That's why I stay out of these rooms now, because they're not about the hiker safety, man. They're more about like how many people can they get in their room, and how many synapses can they get firing, dude, from people liking their stuff and shit, man. It isn't even about the hiker safety anymore. This is just about the way they want to feel. And so, so they can type out, oh, it's 250,000 people now. Well, there's 252,000 people that need to know what's going on out here so they can be safe. And so, anyways, man, yeah. So I wanted to touch on that stuff. We're getting up around 20 minutes right now. I'm going to continue to talk about, how to get up here, man, because there's just so many wrong answers and not enough right ones. And so I want to go back and just say, I am doing this to help people so when they come to Georgia, they are prepared and not unprepared. Please, I hope this little video here helps. I'm going to continue to build more. I'm going to end it here. So I will be back and I will talk more about shuttles and how to prepare yourself to come here prepared. All right, man. One love. Thank you. Peace.